Hey everybody, how are you? I am doing well on this absolutely gorgeous fall day here in Nanjing. It is about 60 degrees outside, partly cloudy, a little bit of sun, very cool inside. I have all my windows open to let the air circulate around the apartment, and it's been really rainy and gross for the past couple days, so today is a gorgeous, gorgeous day. I can hear lots of people outside. So, as promised, I got quite a few really, really good questions on Facebook, and so I'm going to take a little bit of time to address some of those questions and hopefully give you kind of an idea of a little deeper idea of what I've been going through and what is next, because I am so close. It is Sunday evening, late afternoon here on Sunday, and so tomorrow is my last full day of quarantine. And so I'll talk a little bit at the end of the video about what happens to me next, which is very exciting. All right, so let's get started. I'm just going to go through the questions in the order in which I received them on my Facebook feed. So, how long is quarantine? Quarantine for me is 4 weeks. Everybody coming to China has to quarantine for at least 3 weeks. Before I arrived, it was 2 weeks in the city that you landed in. So whatever city you flew to, you had to be in that city at a quarantine hotel for 2 weeks, and then you could move to your city in wherever your home was going to be. And finish up your quarantine. Right before I arrived, they switched it to 3 days in the city that you landed in. And then if you passed your COVID test, you could go to your province and a city in your province to complete your 2 weeks of quarantine. So that's what happened to me. I was 3 days in Shanghai, and then my remaining 11 days of the first round of quarantine in the hotel. Then after that, you go home and finish the rest of your quarantine. Because Nanjing had an outbreak over the summer, and by outbreak I mean 120 cases, they shut everything down, and this province of Jiangsu is two weeks of home quarantine. Some places are only 1 week of home quarantine if they didn't really have any big outbreaks over the summer. So unluckily for me, it's 4 weeks. So I am at the end of my 4th week of quarantine. What happens when you go back to the States? I just follow whatever their procedures are for reentry, which right now is just a COVID test, a negative COVID test. And God help us all if this stuff is still going on in a few years when I come home. I don't even want to think about that. So yeah, 4 weeks quarantine. I'm almost done. Can you go outside during quarantine? No. The only way I get to go outside is to go get my COVID test, which is every 3 days. So I do get to walk out of my apartment, cross the gate, and there's a little van that drives around to different apartment complexes doing COVID tests. So from my apartment building door to the van is maybe 50 yards. So unfortunately, I don't get to wander around. I probably could if I wanted to, because nobody's really paying attention to me, but I'm not doing anything at this point to jeopardize. I don't want to have to restart quarantine, which is something that has happened to people who didn't really follow the rules. So I'm so close to getting out, I go straight to the quarantine now, or straight to the testing van. But when I come back, I do walk really slowly, and I look around, and I can take a couple pictures, but for the most part, I just go straight back into my apartment. Who do you communicate with if you need something? That's a really good question. Right now, for the most part, I'm communicating with a staff member at my school who is in charge of all of the staff members who are coming from outside of China. And so that's who put me in contact with the apartment agent who let me in when I arrived here, helped me bring my bags up to my apartment, gave me my first delivery of food. And so there's the HR person at the school, the apartment agent, and now that I'm in my apartment, my coworkers can bring me things. They can't come in, I can't go out, but I've had people drop off dumplings and wine and my packages that I've been ordering. So there's lots of people that I can communicate with to help me. Do I feel safe? Yes. China is one of the safest countries in the world, for reasons I'm not going to go into right now. But there's not a lot of crime here. I mean, of course, it's a huge country with billions of people. Crime does happen, but it's mostly in touristy areas like a lot of other countries. Personal safety, obviously, I haven't been out and about interacting with people yet. I'm more worried about being hit by a car when I'm crossing the street than I am having somebody try to hurt me or rob me. So I live on the 11th floor of my apartment complex. There's only like 7 apartments in my hallway. So no, personal safety is not an issue in China, but it is the world's leading leader in deaths of pedestrians and deaths by a car accident. So I don't think I'm going to be getting in a car anytime soon to go really far. But yeah, I feel very safe here. Do you speak Chinese? No, I don't. I'm working on it. I can say certain things. I can introduce myself. I can ask somebody if they speak English. I can count to 100 if I focus really hard. I can say, I want this, I want that, I don't want this, I don't want that. I'm using a couple different programs that are frustrating because they're difficult. I watch a lot of YouTube videos, so that's been my primary. Instead of the programs I'm using, they want me to construct the sentences, but I really just want to learn the sentences. So the YouTube videos are helpful for that. But I don't ever see myself holding a full conversation with the Chinese speaker, but maybe a light exchange of pleasantries and me being able to ask for something that will, if I can get to that point, I will be happy. But who knows where I'm going to be in a year from now. But I'm working on it. But no, I don't speak Chinese, and I certainly don't read Chinese. The characters are overwhelmingly intimidating here. So we'll just leave it at that. What is my quarantine schedule like? Have I kept to a schedule for my sanity? And absolutely. When I arrived, it was a little strange because my body wanted to go to bed every night at 7 o'clock. And there was one time that I went to bed like at 7. I was wide awake at 2 o'clock in the morning. But time has helped that. I definitely wanted to get acclimated to a school schedule again, and so I set my alarm for 6 a.m. Monday through Friday. Early on, when I got to my apartment, it was no problem for me to get out of bed at 6 o'clock because my bed was miserable. Now I can get up, and then if I want to go back to bed, it's okay. But yeah, I'm pretty much back into my 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. Sleeping routine. I get up, I eat breakfast. I watch, if Netflix decides that it wants to work in the morning, I watch a couple episodes of Friends. I read. I putter around the apartment. I look out the windows to see if there's anything interesting. After lunch, I usually videotape my lesson for the next day and send it to the teachers who are in my classroom. Read some more, putter around some more. Then it's dinner time. Then after dinner, I wait a little bit. I have gotten back to an exercise routine, so I do my workout. And then I end my day with some Hulu, either old CSI or ER reruns, and then I go to bed and play a couple games on my tablet and read a little bit, and then I'm asleep usually by 10 o'clock. So that has been my routine for the most part, and it has helped the day go by quickly. Like right now, once I finish this video, it'll be dinner time, and then the evening comes very quickly, goes by very quickly. What is the first thing I'm going to do when I get to go out? Jump for joy is one of them, but I will be whisked away by school staff members to go take care of some business. But I definitely want to explore my neighborhood, my complex. I showed you the map that I posted. You could kind of see that there's lots of interesting things to see around. I want to go explore the area where the people dance and do their Tai Chi in the morning. And so really just explore this area. The part of Nanjing where I live, there's a lot of universities and colleges, and so there's lots of little areas of, okay, this is a cool area if you want to go find a restaurant or shops. There's the biggest mall in China is like a couple miles from my apartment, so I definitely want to go check that place out too. So there's a lot to explore. So that's going to be my first priority, is to explore my neighborhood and find out where everything is that I would need. When do I start teaching? Hopefully Thursday. At the end of the video, I'll explain that there's things I have to do Tuesday and Wednesday, but Thursday will be my first full day free. And so I'm hoping to be in my classroom then. There have been other teachers covering my classes for almost 2 months now, and even though I was able to see my students for the first few days of school while I was teaching online, I haven't physically seen them. They see me every day because I videotape my lessons, but I haven't seen them. And I have several of them ask me a couple times a week, when are you coming? When are you coming? So at least they haven't forgotten about me, and they seem excited for me to be there, and I'm really, really, really ready to get into my classroom. Are you going to decorate your classroom? Of course I am. I already have my Halloween decorations. I was able to get a couple things from the dollar store, and so I have Halloween decorations to put up, and then hopefully I'll be able to get some other things for different parts of the year. But yeah, I'm definitely going to decorate my classroom for sure. What is your address? So first of all, I really, really, really appreciate the fact that a lot of people want to send me care packages and everything, but mail is not a good thing here. It takes months for packages to come from the States. I've asked coworkers, what is your mail situation like? And it's not impossible, and things do get here, but if you sent me something right now, it very well could be January before I get it, if I do. And people have said that they've had family members and friends send them things that get returned, or they get stuck in customs. So, while I really appreciate the fact that people are thinking of me and want to send me things, it's not practical. There is a website called Baopals, which is like the English version of Taobao, which is like the Chinese version of Amazon. That is what I've been using to order some things, and you could technically order some things, but there's like an extra charge if you pay with a credit card, and I don't want anybody to have to pay. It's not a lot, it's like $10, but there is a fee to pay with the foreign credit card, but the stuff comes from China, so it wouldn't have to be shipped and go through customs. So if you really are insisting on sending me things, let me know, and I'll talk to you or get you with the Baopals information. I do not yet have my physical mailing address. So when I get to school, that'll be one of the things I get, because if I'm somewhere, I need to know that information too, to like tell somebody, this is where I live, can you help me get there, or like in a taxi or something. But so just know that it's not really practical to send me stuff, but I will find out what the best way is if you continue to insist that you want to. So thank you for that. What has been your favorite and least favorite meal, beverage, and moment? Let me address the beverages first, because there haven't been any unusual beverages that I've had. I've had water in the quarantine hotel, milk. When I got to my apartment, I broke out my tea that I brought from home. I've had Coke Zero, orange juice, and that's about it. So wine, of course. So there isn't a whole lot of interesting beverages that I've had to have a favorite or not favorite there. Meals. Well, you already know that the vast majority of what I was served in the quarantine hotel is my least favorite meal, because it was pretty much inedible. But there were some nice surprises. The stir-fried bean sprouts I had. Breakfast every day. I really miss the breakfast in the quarantine hotel. So that was good. Every once in a while I would get some like peppers, stir-fried peppers that I mix with my rice. And so that was good. But here, my friend brought me some dumplings that her IE made, and those were delicious. I really enjoy Chinese sweet potatoes. They're not like the big baking sweet potato that we have back home. They're about this big and thin. They don't cut very well, but they cook up marvelous. So last night my dinner was Chinese sweet potatoes, a half of a red onion, and scrambled eggs, which seems like a very strange combination, but it was amazing. So I really, really, really enjoy sweet potatoes. The fruit, bananas, apples have been good. The pizza hasn't been bad, but I'm looking forward to getting out and sampling some different things. My favorite moment was when I saw outside my bathroom window, that's the bathroom, the group of Chinese women dancing. I knew I was going to see it somewhere. I didn't know it would be so close where I could watch it for a long time. But that is definitely a thing here where all the little ladies dance together. It's their form of exercise, and it was fabulous to see. So out my bathroom window, I have seen the group dancing. I've seen people doing Tai Chi, sword dancing, fan dancing. It's like my own little stage out there. I'm surprised that I haven't seen anybody out there today because it's an absolutely gorgeous day on a Sunday. But that was my favorite moment because I was so excited to see that. My least favorite moment was the day that I arrived to my apartment. I had to get on a bus from the quarantine hotel to my apartment, and the bus driver basically stopped in front of my complex. I didn't know it was my complex. How was I supposed to know exactly where I was going? And he basically stopped in the middle of the road, told me to get out with all 10 of my bags. And so, there was no help. I had to pull them all off myself after I had loaded them all on myself and didn't really know where I was. And when the bus pulled away, I'm in the middle of the road. There's cars coming. I tried to move over closer to the building, but then there was the bike lane. So that was about an hour of extreme stress until the agent for the apartment came and helped me get out of the road. So that was my worst moment so far, just because I wasn't sure exactly where I was, if it was even the right place, and then they left me there. So, but it's all good. Turned out fine. Transportation. Obviously, I'm not going to have a car. Foreigners cannot get driver's license here. And as I said before, China is the car accident death capital of the world. So I have no desire. It's strange to not be driving, but I don't have a desire. The school has a shuttle that picks up teachers in the morning and takes them to school and brings them home in the afternoon. So that will be my primary method of getting to school every day is the shuttle. If there's a day where I have to stay later than the shuttle, I know there's a bus that I might be able to take. I do eventually want to get a bicycle, and so that's an option. But Nanjing is a big city, and it has a very good subway system. I can see out one of my windows the subway line, so the subway station is only a few blocks away from my apartment, and so I'm just going to pretend like I'm a New Yorker, and I'm going to take the subway and walk everywhere that I need to get. There's a taxi system, obviously, which I might have to take sometimes. But yeah, primarily the shuttle to get to and from school, walking, or the subway for right now until I can really find my way around. I do eventually kind of want to get a scooter, but I'm a little scared of that. So that will be in the future once I become more comfortable with the roads and where everything is. Will I be able to find food that I like? I think so. There are Western grocery stores or grocery stores that specialize in Western food. I think there's one a few blocks away from my apartment. Right across the street is an expat-friendly Mexican restaurant, but apparently the owner/chef will, if you have a special request for a Western food that's not Mexican, they will try to make it for you. Like there's burgers there, you can get pizza. I'm going to try not to have that be my main source of food, but there are Western foods available when I want them. There's Pizza Huts around, obviously KFC, there's a McDonald's on the other side of my complex. So I think I'll be okay. The school provides breakfast and lunch, so 10 meals a week I don't have to worry about, which is really, really nice. That takes a lot off my mind. But yeah, I think I'll be able to find things that I enjoy eating on the outside. Do I have to be escorted when I leave? No. Not even when I go to get my COVID test, nobody is following me. And once the school staff takes me around and gets all my business taken care of, I am free to come and go wherever I want. I do have to do something with immigration, I think, to get my residence permit, where I have to turn in my passport for 10 days, which basically means that I don't think I'm going to be allowed to leave the city. Like, I couldn't go into Shanghai or whatever. But once that's done, I'm pretty free as long as I stay COVID free. I'm free to roam about the country for the moment. What is my favorite part of my apartment? My windows. I love my windows. So I am very luckily at the end of my hallway. So I have a western facing view. So this is my bedroom. So the bathroom and then the kitchen, they face directly west. So that's where I see many trees. I can see the park with the water and where the people gather. I can see the sunset. There's a lot of ugly apartment buildings in the way, but I can see the sunset out of those windows. And then the windows here face to the south, where I see into people's apartments. But if I look over, I can see more mountains in the distance, and I see like a subway car just went by. I can see the subway line. So I like that I have multiple perspectives out my windows. And so that's one of the first things I do in the morning, is I look out the window to see what's happening in the world. So that's my favorite part. My purple wall is growing on me, but I just try to ignore it for the most part. But yeah, I love my windows. I love looking out the windows. Is my bed comfortable now that I got my mattress topper? Oh my God, yes. Like I said before, it was very easy to get out of bed at 6 o'clock in the morning because it was so uncomfortable, but that mattress topper has made my life so much better. Literally I was sleeping on a wooden board with a fabric cover, and now I have 10 centimeters of cushion. That is perfect. So yes, my bed is much, 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 much better. Thank you. What am I most excited to do on the outside? Well, obviously go to Disney. That'll be the first thing. Shanghai is only an hour and a half away by train, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to get there anytime soon. Like I said, they're going to take my passport for a little bit, but I will get there as soon as I am able. And again, just explore. I want to learn where everything is, where I can go to get this and this and that, and where the good grocery stores are, where the good restaurants are. Find out where all of my co-worker friends, there's a couple that live in my complex in other buildings. There's some across the street. There's some behind me. And one of a coworker who just got out of quarantine on Friday, we are trying to set up like a rotating happy hour every week at a different person's apartment. So I don't know if that's going to happen with a bunch of people, or it might just be her and I going back and forth. But that's something I'm excited to do too. And so what is your first big adventure going to be? Well, obviously Disney will be the easiest thing to get to. I'm really excited. I was hoping to get there for Halloween, but I don't think that's going to happen with my passport being gone. But definitely soon. I want to get out to Disney. And then Thanksgiving is my next break. We just have a couple days, Thursday and Friday, for Thanksgiving. And the school does like a retreat for the teachers. And usually it's to some other city. But because of whatever, we can't leave Nanjing. And so they're going to find us a resort here, and then everybody will go hang out at the resort for a few days. But apparently they give like really nice like prizes, like people get laptops and AirPods, which I don't care about, but so it's just kind of like a bonding thing for the teachers. And then Christmas is going to be my first really big holiday. Christmas is not a thing in China, but it is at international schools. So international schools with a lot of international staff, we do get 2 weeks off for Christmas. And since I can't travel anywhere outside of the country, in one of the very northern cities in China, there's a city called Harbin that has a huge snow an ice festival every year. If you've ever been to ice at Gaylord Palms, all of the people who come and do all those sculptures are from China, and so they have this huge festival up there, and it's extremely cold. But I'm hoping that by next Christmas I'll be able to leave and go someplace else. So I want to take advantage of kind of being stuck in country right now and go check out that Harbin Snow Festival. So that's definitely, I'm hoping another one of my coworkers has already done that, and so she said that she would help me figure out the logistics behind that. And then as you know, the Winter Olympics is in Beijing, and they are not allowing people in to see it, but the people who are living in China are able to buy tickets. And so there's a few people at the school who are hoping to get a group together because the Olympics coincides with the Chinese New Year break. So it's probably going to be crazy with everybody trying to get there, but that I'm hoping to be able to go to the Olympics, even if it's speed skating or something. I that would be very exciting. So that's kind of what's on the horizon as far as travel plans for me. But you know me, I'm not going to sit still. I will be out every opportunity that I get, because there's a ton of stuff just around Nanjing and a couple little cities close by where there's some neat things to do. So I will always be doing something if I can. So that was the end of my questions. So I hope that answered maybe some of them you had that you didn't write down. So what I'm trying not to make this too long. It's almost 30 minutes already. But so what happens next? So tomorrow for me is Monday, and I have to get my final quarantine COVID test. And once that comes back clear, on Tuesday morning, I will get my release papers from the health office or whatever, and then a staff member from school will come and pick me up and take me to get my Chinese bank account and my SIM card for my phone. Then that opens up a whole nother world for me. I won't have to rely on other people to do things for me. I can do things for myself with a Chinese phone number and a Chinese bank account. So they'll help me get that set up. And then on Wednesday, I have to go do some health things, like basically a huge physical. I have to get like a chest x-ray, an EKG. They do, look in every place. So, which is good because it's right about now that I would be scheduling my own annual physical at home. So, I get to do this one at the right time. And then Wednesday night is meet the teacher at school. And so after all my health tests and everything, I will probably go to school for the first time, which will be exciting, not to teach or anything, but to be there for meet the teacher, to finally meet I've only met 2 of my coworkers in person that have brought me things to my apartment. So I'll get to meet people, the teachers who have been in my classroom. I brought little things, little gifts for them that they've requested. And so I'm excited to see my classroom, drop off. I have like 4 bags of stuff to take to my class. And then that will be it. Then Thursday I teach, and it's on from there. So I hope that you have enjoyed this exciting quarantine journey with me, and everything from here on out is going to be hopefully pretty spectacular. So I appreciate all your comments and your good thoughts, and just know that I'm thrilled to be getting out. I'm surrounded by really nice, helpful people. As far as my coworkers, I actually met a Chinese girl on the bus from Shanghai to Nanjing that we've been chatting, and so we're going to make a lunch date when we get out. So I actually even have made my first Chinese friend. So I'm excited about that. She's a PhD student. Obviously everybody's younger than me, but she's very kind, and so I'm just excited about getting out and meeting people, and doing everything that I want to do, because that's why I'm here. I didn't do all of this craziness for nothing. So thanks again, and continue asking your questions. I won't make a big video again, maybe in 6 months or so when things have changed, but I hope you have enjoyed seeing everything. There's a big excursion next weekend to IKEA, which is a big deal here in China, and so there's stuff that I need to get to finish up my organization, and then once that's done, then I'm going to do another video of the apartment to kind of show you what has been done so far. So hope everybody's well, and thank you so much for all your good thoughts and wishes, and I will see you soon. Bye.